All right, well, welcome everybody to the CyberHawks General Body Meeting. I'm going to be going over today some of the events that we have in store for you, and just kind of let you know about the org in general and what we do. So we are a cybersecurity organization here on campus. There is also women in cybersecurity, so we're one of two organizations. And yeah. So here's our executive board. I'm the Beam channel manager, but I also do a lot of other things on the side. We have Ryan, who's our vice president. We have Wyatt, who's our secretary. We have Johan, who is public relations chair. I did forget Mitchell, who is here in the back. He's our treasurer. I wasn't making this last minute, I apologize. You should check out the Discord. There's a cool meme in the memes channel about how I was making this last minute. And then we have Talon, who is our seminar. He's going to be giving our seminars throughout the semester, and he's our red team lead. And then we have David Arnold, who's like not officially on the executive board, but he's our advisor, and he's been helping out with things all the time. And he's also the one who founded this organization 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm going to look this up for a brief moment before I raise the projector screen so I can draw on the boards. But if you haven't already, if you're interested in our competitions, we will be offering 3 competitions this semester. So, yes. So the first one's going to be Hivestorm. That's a forensics competition. And that they give you 2 Windows machines and 2 Linux machines. And basically, it's as if they've already been attacked or they've been misconfigured. And you have to go in and remove users that shouldn't be there and basically clean up the machines and secure them. That's Hivestorm. Then we have CyberForce, which is a defense competition. So basically, they give us some time beforehand to take our network and harden it. They give us a network that we have to harden, so basically make it more secure. And then during the actual competition time, they have attackers come in and attack you, and you have to defend against those attackers. So that's CyberForce. And then in addition to that, we are offering NCL. So NCL is kind of a capture the flag style challenge or competition that is focused in different cybersecurity topics. And there's both an individual game for that, and then there's a team game later on. So if you're interested in any of these competitions and want to learn more, this is the QR code for that. So do that. So join that. And we will be probably at some point by the end of this weekend sending out information about the competitions. And if you forget any of what I just said, like Hivestorm, CyberForce, NCL, if you're like, that was a long explanation, I'm not going to remember that, it's all kind of mentioned on the form itself, so don't worry about that too much. In addition, I just kind of wanted to showcase this because a lot of people don't know that we have a YouTube channel. So in the past, we had all of our video content on our website. Yes, we do also have a website. But I figured it would just be easier to have everything on YouTube because I feel like YouTube is the platform that most people use. And so we're slowly moving things over from our website, from the videos page to our YouTube channel, and then everything will be there, and then our website will just have playlists on our YouTube channel. It'll have links to playlists. So, yeah. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So last but not least, here is our contact information. If you're here and interested in cybersecurity and you're not already part of our Discord, you should be, because that's where we're sending all of our updates. We're also going to create an emailing list, thanks to Wyatt. So if you're on the CyberHawks Discord and you go to the announcements channel, there is a link to a form where you can sign up to be on the emailing list. So please check that out if you haven't already. I will also probably, when this presentation is over, create a QR code for it, and so you can do it that way too. But for now, if you haven't already looked at that, look at that. And the reason we're doing that, well, one of the biggest reasons we're doing that is because then we're going to put everything in Google Calendar so you know when all our events are. And so then if you are on our emailing list, we can just share calendar events with you. And I think it'll be easiest to do it that way. Of course, all our events I'm also announcing in the announcements channel of that Discord. So anything that's going on, as long as you're keeping tabs on that, you'll have that information. Here's our email. Honestly, probably the better way to reach us is through Discord. So if you just ping @execboard on our Discord, that's a faster way to reach us. If you wanted to email us, our treasurer also manages our email. And so there's that. This is my own contact information. You're always welcome to reach out to me. and I will try to respond to you and answer any questions that you might have. Yeah. I should also mention, going back to competitions very briefly, I do not know if we will be offering this or not, so please don't quote me on this, but there is the Collegiate penetration testing competition. If some of you consider yourselves avid pen testers and that's what you do, please reach out to me directly and let me know that you'd be interested in being a part of that. But once again, I don't know if we're offering that, but if we have a lot of people who are interested, maybe I'll consider putting together a team. Also, probably the best way to reach out to me is Discord. I'll always respond to Discord. You can also reach out to me on Snapchat. I respond that way too. My email, I try to check regularly, but sometimes I might miss it, so it's probably better to just message me on Discord. Cool? So far, so good? All right.
Question? Was there a QR code for suitable here, or?
Sorry, say that again?
Was there a QR code for suitable in the presentation, or just
This presentation?
Yeah.
No, not really. If you guys really want this presentation, just come to me after this and I'll share it with you, but I don't know.
Suitable.
For suitable?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can log in. I don't even think.
No, I don't think, yeah. I know what you're saying, we have points for attending. No, we're not really doing that.
Alright.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
Anyway, so this is kind of, if any of you were here during the welcome week presentation that I gave where I showed a phishing attack and they went over to different areas of cybersecurity, this might be kind of a repeat of that. But for those of you who weren't here, I'm going to do it again, and I also kind of want it recorded so we can put it on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to do that again, and I'm also going to show you what events we have that are going to cover the different topics in cybersecurity. So in cybersecurity, I like to divide it up into, actually just erase this. I like to divide cybersecurity up into offense, and defense. Oh yeah, sorry, I used British spelling, so if any of you are like, why did you put a C there? Yes, it's a British spelling, I apologize. So, why do we have cybersecurity in the first place? Because there are people who do malicious things with computers that they're not supposed to do. And so that's where you get offense from. But not necessarily, offense doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad guy. And I'll talk about this later, but there are certain things, offense things that you can do as a good guy too. You also test systems and potentially find vulnerabilities before malicious actors find them. Then combating that, there's defense, right? On the offense section, we have red teaming / penetration testing. So what that is a lot of the times a pen tester is somebody who will be hired by a company to analyze their network, try to find security vulnerabilities, and figure out what's wrong, what they could do better with securing the network, and then they report those vulnerabilities to the company. So as a pen tester, a red team or pen does the same thing, but they try to be stealthy. So while a pen tester will run a bunch of scans to do a catch-all and see all the vulnerabilities they can find, somebody who's red teaming will try to break in while being stealthy, maybe not running scans because scans are noisy and it's easy to catch them. So that's red teaming. So if you're interested, when you think of hacking, like hacking, you're probably thinking of this, red teaming and pen testing, because that's actually analyzing the network for vulnerabilities and breaking in. If you're interested in this, we're going to be hosting weekly sessions where we get together and work on TryHackMe and HackTheBox. I haven't made an announcement about that yet, but I will probably sometime this weekend. TryHackMe and HackTheBox are publicly available platforms. They do contain some additional benefits for paid members, but they're generally free. And they give you vulnerable machines that you can attempt to break into. TryHackMe is more guided in general, so they will guide you through the process of how do I break into this machine. And from there, they'll give you a box to break into. By box, I mean machine to break into within the platform itself, so they host everything on their end. It's very nice. They also host your attacking machine on their end, so you don't need to set up anything. They kind of guide you through the process of breaking in. And they teach a lot of different cybersecurity concepts, not just red teaming, also defense, but we'll primarily be using it for red teaming. So, and then HackTheBox is similar, except it's less guided. It's just they give you a bunch of vulnerable machines, and you have to try to break into them. There's a little bit more setup on your end, because the attacking machine, you have to set up on your end. And then I think they give you a VPN to connect to that. But yeah, so we are going to have weekly sessions. These will probably be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'll be sending it out in the announcements channel a couple different times that you'll react to based on your availability. And then whatever works best for most people, that's when we're going to have our in-person sessions where we get together, work on this stuff, so you can kind of do it on your own, but have other people there who are maybe more knowledgeable on the subject than you are and willing to help you out with it. And then in addition, as I mentioned, Collegiate penetration testing competition. This is if you already have a lot of pen testing knowledge and you wanted to check your skills, come to me and I might be able to get you involved in that. So that's one thing on the offensive side. Vulnerabilities that red teamers and pen testers use to break into things. Well, there are also people who look at code at the lowest level and try to find like memory errors and different types of errors that lead to security vulnerabilities. The process of doing that is exploit development. Exploit developers generally don't do a whole network scan or a whole network rundown. What they do is they will target a specific service and they'll see if they can break that service. Then red teamers or pen testers take those vulnerabilities that become publicly available, and they use that to break into machines. But if you're interested in finding vulnerabilities at the lowest level, if you're interested in exploit development, well, I'm going to recommend the free resource Cone College, which is offered by ASU, I believe. It's publicly available online. You should definitely check that out. But also, we will be having a seminar series given by our red team lead, Ty, and he will be giving some showcases of exploit development, and he will also be doing some basic Cone College modules and showing you what those look like. So if you're interested in that, check out our seminar series. Those are currently scheduled for Monday during lunch hour, and they will be starting not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. And I will make more announcements about that too. If you're interested in this but can't make those Monday lunch hours, don't worry, because we will be recording those and I will be putting them up on YouTube afterwards. So hopefully you got that link to our YouTube channel and you'll be able to view them all. All right. Also, if you ever need the link to our YouTube channel and if you don't know the QR code, you can also go to the resources channel of our Discord. And then in the resources channel of our Discord, I put the CyberHawks YouTube as part of that. So you can always find it there too. Then in addition to exploit development, there's malware development. So malware is any file that does something that it's not supposed to do on your computer or phone or other device. So of course, we're going to be focusing more on the malware analysis side of it this semester, but certainly malware development is another thing you can do. All right. On the defensive side, we have on the defensive side, I like to kind of break it up. How do we combat these red teamers and pen testers who are breaking into our devices? I like to break that up into 3 categories. We could make our systems more secure and more difficult to break into. That's hardening. We could stop them if they are already in the process of breaking in. We try to keep them out. That's usually done through like monitoring. So you'll be monitoring log files that kind of tell you what's happening on your computer, and then real-time defense trying to take them out. Then if they've already broken in and done some damage, and you want to clean up that damage, that would be under forensics. So I like to break it up into the before the attack, during the attack, and after the attack. If you're interested in any of this stuff, this is where competitions come into play. If you're interested in forensics, we offer the Hivestorm competition. Hivestorm competition, again, is they give you 2 Windows machines, 2 Linux machines. You basically have to clean it up after a cyber attack. If you're interested in hardening or monitoring, then the other competition might be good for you. That's CyberForce. CyberForce, once again, is you have to harden the network that they give to you before the competition date, and then during the competition date, attackers will try to break into you and they'll try to defend you. Again, or maybe not again, I don't know if I said this yet, but skill level doesn't matter. We accept beginners, we accept advanced, we will place you on a team where we feel you fit best. On the form itself, you'll have the option to say, I'm a beginner and I want to be with beginners, or I'm a beginner, I want to be with advanced people, I'm advanced and I want to be with advanced people. You know, you can specify that on the form, and we'll try to make teams. Actually, shout out to David for setting up those teams accordingly to whether your skill level and whether you want to be on a team with people of a similar skill level or with people of different skill levels. All right. So, in addition to this, there's how do we combat, so this is to combat red teaming and pen testing. How do we combat malware? Well, there are kind of 2 ways to go about combating malware. Generally, we learn about new malware through malware analysis. So that's taking a malware, setting it up in a sandbox or a contained environment, letting it do its thing and watching what it does. And that's how we learn about how malware works. And so, and then from there, we can incorporate the things we learn into antivirus, which the purpose of antivirus is to stop malware from doing bad things before it starts doing bad things. So if you're interested in this, if you're interested in malware analysis, and by analyzing malware and seeing how it works, you also learn how it's been developed and basically the concepts behind it. That's also our seminar series given by Ty. It's going to have a big focus on this. In fact, this is probably going to be the biggest focus. We're also working on getting professionals from industry in to give talks with us. And Ty is also kind of taking charge on that to give talks, especially on malware analysis. So hopefully we'll have some big names coming in and giving presentations and showing you the tools that they use to do that. So, seminar series if you're interested in that. I covered mostly everything. I mean, when we talk about offense, we can also talk about social engineering. Social engineering is basically tricking people into doing things that will potentially give you information you're not supposed to have access to. And so, for example, like a phishing attack, like if you clone a site and you have them log into that site, they don't realize that it's a malicious site, but it's actually a site that you're hosting, but it looks like a real login page, you know, stuff like that. It can also be like man-in-the-middle attacks if you're sitting on a network and you're pretending to be somebody else on the network, but you're actually not that person. You know, there's art poisoning. There's a lot of cool stuff with social engineering. We had a really heavy focus on this last year, which is why I'm kind of leaning away from it this year. But if you're interested, I saved last year. What I did is I came up with a bunch of little tasks that basically make you go out there and research different areas in social engineering and learn about it yourself, because a lot of the information you can find is already out there. So if you're interested in having me assign you these tasks so you can work on it yourself, let me know, and I will do that for you. We also have the presentations that people gave last year from doing those tasks that I assigned them. Those are posted publicly on our YouTube channel. You can also very easily access them from our Discord. If you go to the resources channel again on our Discord, and you go to the social engineering section, I give you not only the list of all those assignments that I gave people last year, but I also give you the links to the YouTube that showed their actual presentations. So I guess I'll say for this, check out our resources channel on our Discord, or reach out to me if you want me to assign you to any of these. So yeah, and of course, resources in general, if you're looking for resources, you can go once again to that resources section in our Discord. If you're like, I'm a beginner, I don't know where to start, I put all of the resources that I've used to learn cybersecurity there, and a lot of them are recommended to me from other people. So if you also have any additional resources that you're like, this one should be on there because it's really good, but I don't see it, reach out to me, tell me, oh, this resource is really good, and I will certainly look into it and consider putting it on there. All the resources that I use nowadays were recommended to me by one of you guys that I talked to, and then I'm like, hey, so do you do cybersecurity? Yeah, what resources do you use? Oh, here's a cool one. Like TryHackMe with TryHackMe, for example. And now we're really like shifting focus to using that. So definitely, if you want more resources, check out that channel. And if that's not enough for you, if you're like, I have a very specific topic that I'm looking into, and I'm wondering if there's resources on that specific topic, reach out to me. Either I'll be able to provide you with something, or I probably know somebody else in CyberHawks who's interested in that, and who I will tell you to reach out to them, and they'll be able to give you what you're looking for. So, yes, that kind of concludes the presentation. Hopefully I covered. I know there are more areas that I didn't mention, like video game hacking or things like that, but if you're interested in that sort of stuff, just always reach out to me. Hopefully I covered most of the areas of cybersecurity and showed you how we plan on teaching you about those. And if you have any additional questions, I guess now is the time to ask. Well, you can also come to me after this presentation. I will stand here for like maybe 5-10 minutes and be here to answer your questions if you have any more personal questions for me. So, sounds good.